Oops. Is anyone else on right now? Can you hear me? Could somebody comment if they're watching this video? Hmm. Okay. I'm trying to tell how many people are on here right now. Um, this is my first live ever, so here we go. Okay. Okay, this is very strange for me, but yeah, I hope everyone is doing. Oh, saying there's an error loading. 1 second here. Okay, I'm gonna get started then. It looks like people are here and I am live. So yeah, this is my first ever live video, so cut me some slack. And I will try and do my best to make this super valuable. Um, okay, now I'm seeing it. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so I made a very, very hasty presentation. And I'm going to run through this. And I guess just type any questions that you have. Oh, I also want to make sure that you can see my screen. How can I do that? Oh, maybe I can't do that. Oh, camera, share screen. Here we go. Okay. Chrome tab, this one. Okay, here we go. Okay, now you guys see my screen. I think we're doing this. Can somebody respond if they can see my screen? Should be a Google Slides presentation. Okay. It's telling me that not yet. Okay, or you're 20 seconds behind. Interesting. No screen. Error loading. That's strange. Okay, I'm just going to start, and I'm hoping that eventually the error loading will go away. It's telling me that I'm sharing my screen. Not yet, but there seems to be a bit of a lag. Okay. Okay, well, I guess I'll start with like what this is about. So I'm going to try and keep it pretty short, but basically this is all about like kind of why you would run a giveaway for your e-commerce or music business, and sort of like what you can hope to get out of it. Yeah, I can maybe link the presentation later, as long as everyone can hear me. So basically, email is still like the best way to communicate with your potential customers, people who've already bought from you, and with people who haven't bought from you but are considering Um, and, you know, having someone's email address is worth roughly $1 per month that they're on your list if you're doing email marketing right. So gaining somebody's email address is a great way to build your business and to make money, essentially. Another thing that's really important about building your list is that it's something that you own and um, you know you manage. So even if yeah, it's something that you're always going to be able to maintain and something where you can always communicate with your subscribers and your customers. So it's very important to build. Um, Also, running a giveaway is just a really cheap way to generate leads. So essentially, what a giveaway is you're saying, hey, if you sign up, then you're going to be entered into a contest where I'm going to pick one or maybe more than one person to win some kind of a prize. Is this making sense so far? That's sort of like the high level of what you're doing. You're exchanging a, you know, the chance to win something for free from you. So it's probably a free album. Maybe it's a signed album. And in exchange, they have to give you their email address. I wish I could show you my screen. Um, okay, nice. It's making sense. Can nobody seeing my screen? Is that right? Right. Okay. Um, correct. Right. Okay. Well, um, oh, I'm just gonna try one thing here. Share. See if this works. Okay. Let me know if you can see my screen. I just tried a different setup. You can only see me. Okay. Okay. Well, how about now? Dan. Okay. I'm gonna stop trying then. um, okay. So running a giveaway is actually really simple, and there's only three parts. There is the ads, the landing page or the opt-in page. Shoot. Oh, this is. And there's the emails that you send after somebody opts in. And so, yeah, it's just those three things. And it's actually pretty simple to set up. Um, in some of the recent campaigns that I've run, we're getting leads for 8 cents. So if you can imagine that, like, we're getting email addresses um, for 8 cents, and we just did a pre-order campaign where we sent out the first email made roughly 80 cents per person that we sent it to. So that's sort of the power of these giveaways is like, if we can pay 8 cents to acquire somebody's email address, and then we can send one email and generate on average 80 cents per person, then that's sort of where you start to make your money. And that's just one email. And you can obviously continue to market to these people down the road as you go. So yeah, I mean, and the whole process is fairly simple. There's, again, I wish you were seeing my screen, but there's an opt-in page that you would create. Lead pages is what we use. And essentially it's just a simple headline that says, hey, sign up for your chance to win a free album. And then they can enter their email address. And once they've entered their email address, there's a little thank you page that shows up that just says, hey, you've thanks for entering. Here's what you can expect. And then at the same time, they are they'll receive an email that just lets them know sort of the same thing that's on the thank you page. Okay, hopefully this will be viewable after the fact. Thanks for the effort, everyone. Internet is dialed down to protect servers per weeknight website. Oh, interesting. Okay, maybe that's what's going on. Is this making sense to everyone? So I just want to make sure that I'm not losing people. If you can just comment something that it's making sense to you. Some people are seeing it okay. Okay, well, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to assume that this is working. Does anybody have any questions so far? If you do, just type them in the chat. Okay, amazing. Asha, thank you for your responses. There's definitely a lag, so this is a bit weird for me. Okay, awesome. That's awesome, Kate. So, we run these pretty often because we want to. Okay, awesome. We want to, make sure that we're always getting new subscribers onto our list. So these giveaways are something that we run, roughly once a month, or maybe once every 2 months. It's something that we're doing on a continuous basis, and you could try giving away different products or other things to keep it interesting. But yeah, it's part of our strategy always. There are a few things that you can do to get more out of these giveaways. So one cool trick that you can do is on your thank you page, instead of it just being a thank you page that's like, hey, thanks for signing up, here's what to expect, you can actually make the thank you page, you can present a one-time offer to whoever it is. So for example, say someone opts in, they want to enter to win a free album. Thank you page pops up. It's like, hey, thanks for signing up. But here's an offer. You can get maybe a signed version of this album for 20% off if you purchase in the next 20 minutes or so. And that's sort of a way to incentivize someone to buy right after signing up. And so if you present an offer like that, you can actually make up a lot of what it costs you to generate the email address right off the bat. So that's a really, really powerful strategy. Another thing that you can do if you want to get even more out of your giveaways is you can basically, rather than just sending one confirmation email saying like, hey, thanks for signing up, you can put someone into an automatic sequence of emails that basically it's an indoctrination sequence. So each email is sort of communicating a different part about who you are or what your music is, or maybe linking to different things that you've done. So it's a way of sort of like indoctrinating someone into your world. And so when you do present them with an offer later, they'll be more likely to buy from you. So that's a really powerful sequence of emails to implement. And it's something that we do for sure. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the gist of it. I wish I could have shown you a few things, but maybe I'll find a way to give links to certain things that I would have liked to show you. Um, yeah, I mean, are there any questions that people have right now? If not, yeah, as Asha said, you can ask them in the group later, and I'd be happy to clarify. Can you give some examples of the drip emails? Yes. Yeah. Well, without okay, sample content topics to indoctrinate them. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, I'm actually going to try to post a link to the opt-in page in the comments. So here's an example. That's an example uh, opt-in page, like contest opt-in page. And let me see if I can actually link one of the ads as well. So if you click on that, so those two links that I just pasted there in the comments, the second one is an example ad. So basically that ad leads to the landing page that I linked above, and that's kind of the entire process. The only thing that happens on the back end is the email follow-ups, and I'll try and figure out a way to show you those right now. Okay. Let's see if I can give an example of one of these drip emails. Just gonna take a second here. Okay. I'm not sure I can share an actual email, but I'm going to give you some ideas for topics for the indoctrination sequence. So, for example, if I read you the sort of broad topics for Leah's indoctrination sequence, email number one in the sequence is about establishing authority and social proof. So it's a link to a review that somebody had done on one of her albums. Someone who is fairly, I guess, well known. Another email that's in this sequence is sort of just like giving. How can I explain this? Let me take a look. Yeah, it's an email about a trip to Dublin that she did, and so basically the whole point of that is to create, right? What do you share over 4 or 5, and then do you put something they can buy in every email at the bottom or something? Okay, no, great question. So the whole idea of the sequence is to give them more. How can I explain this? You want to demonstrate that that other people like you or listen to your music. So that's social proof. So finding a way to do that, it's, either you can share a review that somebody's done of your album or your music, or any other, maybe there's a video interview that somebody has done with you. That's sort of one thing that I would definitely include in the sequence. Another is just any kind of content that is really sort of like shows who you are, what your personality is, like what makes you tick, what are you about, who is your music for. That's super important. And really it can be anything. So maybe you have a recent music video that you just put out. That could be another topic for an email. It could be a recent blog post that you've done, or even it could be, maybe you've done a podcast before, so you could link to that podcast download. Basically, you just want people to get to know you better. That's the whole point. And as far as putting something they can buy in every email at the bottom, it's good practice to always have a link to your shop, but towards the end of the sequence is when I would start to maybe be a little bit more direct with my asking for somebody to buy from me. So maybe it's email 4, 5, or 6 where you start to say like, hey, check out my latest album, and you can buy it for 15% off using this code. So, the idea is that you get them to know you first, and then you ask for the sale. Let me just make sure I haven't missed any questions here. Okay, I think that's pretty well all of the questions you guys had. Are there any last minute questions that you'd like me to, or things I could go over, or things I could expand on? Okay, doesn't seem to be. Well, I'm going to end this here, and I'll be able to answer any questions, hopefully on either in the group or the video, on the video link. Perfect. Is it good to restrict links in email? Okay, I'm seeing this. Hey, Rob. So is it good practice to restrict links in your email sequence to 2 to 3? Okay, so good question. In general, any email should have one purpose. So, I would tend to restrict links to 1 or 2. In your email sequence. Each email should have a single topic. So if that single topic requires a link, then you can give that one link. I wouldn't give any restrictions on the number of links in an entire email sequence. I think it's just important that every email has a single ask. And Bob, when would you market to Facebook page at what number? Okay, so I'm thinking that means like how many followers do you have to have in order to market to those followers? I don't think there's, I mean, in order to run Facebook ads to an audience, I think their minimum is like 20 people, but I would aim for more like 100 at least before it's worth sort of putting a Facebook ad in front of an audience. So I hope that makes sense. How do you word a sale ask in an email? Yeah, so this is maybe something that can be a bit uncomfortable at first, but if you feel good about what you're offering, then asking for the sale should be easy, right? And you ask for the sale the same way you'd ask for a sale if it was one of your friends who you're trying to have buy from you. You don't need to overcomplicate things. I think, yeah, if you just, write copy as if you were writing to a friend of yours, that's how you would ask for the sale. Or at least that's a good place to start. The video doesn't load. Oh, okay. Yes, Rob, that's correct. Yeah. Generally, you have one sort of main call to action in an email, and then, yes, there are the other links like the unsubscribe link, and maybe there's another one that's more of sort of housekeeping. But yeah, you really just want one link or aim for one link in an email. As soon as you try to have multiple purposes or multiple links in an email, it just overwhelms people and it just doesn't work. Yeah. Email one is intro social proof. You are as an artist. What are emails 2 to 4? So yeah, some ideas for content. I mean, really, it's just content. So Candace, I can't give like specifics as to what those emails should contain, but it's as if you're wanting to get someone to know you. So what can you take advantage of in order to do that? So maybe one email could be all about a recent album of yours, sort of the inspiration behind it. Maybe another email could be all about, a recent music video that you just put out, or an interview that somebody has done of you, or it could be a podcast link that you've done, or for a podcast that you were on. It could also just be content for an email could just be a recent blog post of yours, or even just something that tells a little bit about what you're up to in your life right now. What is interesting to you, what makes you tick, those sorts of things. What is considered an optimal email open rate for your first email in your nurture sequence? Yeah, so that's tough. I mean, Rob, I think Leah's are up around 55, 60%, and that's really, really good. I don't think I've ever seen above 70. That would be really impressive. But I think if you're above 50, you're doing really well. All right, I think that's going to be it for me for now. Yeah, I'm going to do my best to answer any other questions that pop up on the link, and I'm sure these questions can be answered in the group. Okay, I'll answer these couple last questions. So, how often do you recommend emailing your fans? Really, whenever you have something worthwhile saying. It could be as often as once every 2 days if you think you have content that justifies doing that. It could be once a month if that's all you can handle at this stage. The important thing is that you are doing it regularly because you want to keep them engaged. Long or short emails, is one better than another? Again, I think it depends. When you are trying to get someone to know you, longer might be better because you want them to read all that content. You want them to spend more time essentially engaging with you, with your brand. But if you're promoting a sale and you really just want to bring someone from that email onto your sales page, then that call to action, the button should be high up in the email. It should be visible right when they load the email, and there shouldn't be a ton of copy. It should just be a clear call to action. So that would be on the shorter side. Okay. Yeah, that's it for now. I hope that was valuable. That was definitely a learning experience for me. But yeah, I'll do my best to answer any other questions that pop up on the link after I end the video. All right, bye-bye.